Hey guys, it's Robbie here, and this is FrekiFitWolf. Today I want to talk about emotional eating. Alright, so I was watching Holy Crap I'm Fat, Stephanie over there. She is an amazing woman. First of all, if you have not checked out her channel, please go over to her channel and check it out. I'll put a link in the description. But I was watching her today, and she, like me, had a gain this past week. Mine was due to choices, which I've explained on my weigh-in video, but hers was due to emotional eating. And I think that's something we can all relate to. We all have those moments where you're stressed out because work was really hard, or finances are really tough, or your life just feels out of control. Somebody hurt your feelings, somebody made you mad. Just, there's a million reasons why we get emotional, and why we have learned to reach out for food, to treat that as a coping mechanism. And I've talked about it before a long time ago, but I feel like it's something that needs to kind of be readdressed again, especially after seeing her, because there's so many people that deal with this. Like, I was reading the comments because she was like, hey guys, if you have any tips, let me know. And I gave my little 2 cents, and then as I'm reading, I'm just seeing a lot of people just commenting, I totally understand, and listing the reasons why they're emotional and why they're eating. But nobody, not a lot, I don't want to say nobody, but not a lot were posting ways to cope, ways to reach for something else or do something else besides emotional eating. So that's what I want to focus on in today's video. So first of all, when it happens, after it happened, the first thing you got to do is forgive yourself. You cannot hold on to that and be angry with yourself or be more upset with yourself, because guess what? That's going to lead to more emotional eating. I mean, if you ever watched Austin Powers, there's this character, sorry for the name, but his name was Fat Bastard. And he said it best when he said, he eats because he's upset, and then he's upset because he eats. Forgot exactly how the quote goes, but if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. And if you deal with emotional eating, you know exactly what I'm talking about, because we have all done that. I have literally, man, I ate too much. I'm so, like, why'd I do that? Oh, I'm so stupid. Why? And then I reach for more food. Not the smartest plan of action, but it is a plan of action that I've done a million times, and I'm sure you guys have as well. It's just a habit, and you've got to break those habits. So like I said, you've got to forgive yourself. You know what? It happened. I did that. I used that as a coping mechanism. I ate those foods, and I should not have. And also, I do want to say, and I remember saying this before, that I don't, even though I've said it like twice now, I don't like calling emotional eating a coping mechanism, because what it really is, it is a distraction from actually coping. So you're not coping, you are distracting yourself with food. So then you're upset because you ate, you're not upset about what the real problem is. So from there, you've got to find out why you're upset. What is the emotion that is causing it? Is it because of mean coworkers, or because, like, money problems, all the things that I listed a moment ago? You've got to get down to the reason of why you are feeling emotional and why you're wanting to reach for food. And that's what you've got to deal with. You don't want to distract yourself with food, and then you're dealing with the fact that you overate. We have done this. I have done this my entire life, where I would do that, and then I'm more upset about the food that I'm eating, and I forget about the real problems, because it has distracted me enough so that I forgot about those, and I'm more upset about this. I know how to deal with being upset about being fat. I've been fat my whole life. I know how to be upset about that. I know how to mentally address that. I don't know how to mentally address some of the other issues that can come up in our lives that are a little bit more common, and it's easy to blame the scapegoat of being fat, of overeating. So you've got to get down to, why are you upset? Why are you angry? Why are you depressed? Why are you sad? Whatever the emotion is. Sometimes being too happy will make me want to eat. But you've got to get down to that, and then you can address those issues. So what I told Stephanie was that one thing that I find that helps is journaling. Like, I forget, there's a technical name for it, but where you are just putting the pen to the paper and you are just mentally vomiting. You're just writing whatever pops in your head. You could be literally writing, I want 269 Snickers. You could just start writing that. Just whatever is popping in your head, transfer it to your pen. And you'll find, or at least I have found numerous times, that eventually, once you get that written out, the food that you're craving written out, you start writing what the actual problem is. You'll write, I want 269 Snickers, and then the next sentence you'll be, I feel like I'm out of control. And then you'll expand on that. I feel like I can't control anything in my life. I can't afford my bills. I can't afford this. I can't deal with these cranky customers or these cranky coworkers or friends that ignore me or whatever. Those are, just FYI, those are examples, not necessarily from my own life. So nobody in my personal life take offense to that. But you'll start writing these things and you'll start seeing what your problems are. And so from there, you can actually address it. And it's way more than what I can give because I am not a psychologist. I've just been through therapy a lot. But each individual problem, that's when you can start addressing it and seeing what you need to do about it. Especially, I'm a firm believer, just throwing this one out there, that if there's something you can do about it and you're not, it's your fault. So you need to work on those issues. You need to fight those issues or address those issues. If there's something you can't do, then you've just got to learn how to deal with those. And so with that, go on and join my Facebook group, join other people's Facebook groups or Instagrams or whatever social media or friends in real life and reach out to people. People care. You'll be surprised how much people really do truly care. I've seen it numerous times, even in just, like I said, Facebook groups where people will post, that they're dealing with such and such, and people will be commenting and reaching out to them and talking to them. You can message me anytime. My email's in here. If you're on my Facebook group, you can send me a message. You can send other people messages and just talk to them. Sometimes you just need that distraction. I've been upset and I'm like, hey, especially it's cool if it's somebody that's not involved in the situation. So sometimes you can just be like, can I just bend your ear? You don't need to give me advice or whatever. I just need to talk. I need to get it out. If writing doesn't work, talking it out can, or at least be a distraction. Sometimes I've literally reached out. I don't want to talk about what's going on. I need a break from it mentally. Let me talk to you. Or in my case, I'll play video games with friends. Or lately, I've been going on a walk. And side note, really proud of myself. I needed stuff for the peanut butter cookie video that I made today it's going up Saturday, part of a collab. But I walked to Aldi's to get the ingredients I needed and walked back. Which, granted, it's only a mile away. But still, a walk there, a mile there, walking around, walking back with groceries, it was a lot. But I felt better afterwards. Because this morning I was feeling a little not up to snuff. Is that the phrase? I don't know. But that helped, just getting the energy, the pent-up energy, spending that and being active, and then plus endorphins get released when you do exercise, so of course it's going to make you feel better. And while I'm walking, I was listening to the Wicked soundtrack and playing Pokemon Go while I was walking there, but it really lets you clear your mind and really lets you think. And so getting some exercise, talking to friends or even strangers, or honestly, therapy can be a huge thing, especially for those of us, typically, I don't want to say typically, but a lot of the time, people that are bigger, we've dealt with some stuff. We've got some things that have happened in our lives that we need to process, that we need to deal with, and therapy can definitely help. And even if it's nothing major, if it's not like you were an abandoned child or an assault victim or whatever, you still have things that you could talk to a therapist about, even if it is literally just emotional eating. Hey, I don't have that many problems in my life, but I get emotional and I eat because of it. You can talk to a therapist. There are those programs out there that are there to help. And so reaching out for that is totally okay. And then it's somebody, one, a trained professional, two, it's somebody that's not involved, so they're not going to judge you. They're there to help you. So that can be definitely helpful. And all of those things together can really, really help you deal with these emotions, because that's ultimately what you got to do. The question that Stephanie had put it was, how do I stop emotional eating? The question should be, how do I deal with these emotions? And that's what we've got to learn to do to stop ourselves. And one thing I do want to say, if you do, crave it hardcore, and if you're like, oh my gosh, I need it. Sometimes it's okay to have a little. Just portion it out. If you want those Lay's chips, count out a serving, put them on a plate, put the chips away, and make it a whole ritual to do that versus mindless eating and just grabbing and eating it. Like I've said before, in the habits video, sitting down and eating a whole thing, and you're solely focused on that, it'll make you realize that you ate more than if you do the mindless, I'm just walking by, grabbing it and eating it. So keep that in mind. And sometimes, for me, like if I'm craving something hardcore, sometimes it's not going to stop until I've had it. So, or I will eat a million other things until I get to that thing. So just let yourself have some, and it's okay. And like I said back at the beginning of this video, forgive yourself if that happens. If you do have more than you should have, if you do have a moment where you do emotionally eat, forgive yourself, and then really start to think about why you were emotional, why you were wanting to eat, or if it was a binge, why you binged. Like, you've got to get down to the reason behind it in order to prevent it from happening again. And a huge thing, I also saw somebody post about, keeping a food journal, but not just like we all are doing where we track our calories or track our points, but track your emotions with it. I had this, I was feeling this. And you can start to see, when you're eating, why you're eating, and that can really help. So that way you can stop it before it gets there, because we all have learned, or at least I have learned, the warning signs of something happening soon. And as you become aware of your habits, you can be aware of, hey, look, like this is going on, this is going on, this is going on. This might be happening soon. So I need to actually take a moment, meditate. That's another example. Meditation really, really helps. But really stop and think, and okay, there's something going on in my mind. I need to address it. Hopefully that makes sense. I tend to ask that question a lot. But yeah, so that is my thoughts on emotional eating and things to help. And if you guys have any other ideas, put them in the comments below. I would love to see them, and I would love to share them with Stephanie and with anybody else that is dealing with emotional eating. I'm sure we all have learned different ways to cope, different ways to process and deal with these issues. So please leave them down below. I would love to compile them all into a list and put in my Facebook group, or send to people or whatever, just ways to deal with it, because I think that would be so helpful. And as I said earlier, if you are dealing with emotional eating, I'm not available 24/7. I do work, and I do, have some social life, a little bit, but feel free to message me. I will respond as quickly as I can. And if not, like I said, go to Facebook groups or Instagram or Twitter even. I don't know. I don't really use Twitter, but go to those things and reach out to people. But so anyway, like I said, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what your ideas are. If you find any of these helpful, also let me know. I would love to, know if I'm giving some cool advice. And if you haven't yet, please please subscribe and hit that little bell so you know when I post videos. And until my next one, I'll talk to you guys later.